Welcome back to NACL. I'm Mazel, joined by Cubby and Choose again after a domineering game number 1 for CLG Challengers. So we want to get a little bit of a breakdown from Choose here. So first of all, thoughts off of game number 1?
Thoughts? There's not a lot to say. I think bot lane. I think Meech, particularly. I know you guys are highlighting him. I think he went above and beyond my expectations. Breezy, also on the Ashe, like. The fact that they got Ashe and Maokai was a bit of a question mark for me because it seemed like they got some really good picks and in return for like the Sivakama Sejuani. So there's a bit of a question mark for me there, but that bot lane from CLG really delivered.
Did indeed. So for a little bit of fun, Choose. We have decided to do a ranking system with you. Now, I know you weren't fully bought into the scheme, but we want to see how many Choose each play that we have picked out is for you, all right?
We're doing it anyway.
So we're doing it anyway. You don't have to do the whole thing,
okay,
all right? You don't have to.
See him.
You could just do it normally. We were going to have him do a bunch of Choose, like a true train. It's not going to do that, though. So we're going to go ahead.
Wonderfully bad idea.
It was a terribly bad idea, although it should never have come up. So we do have some clips here, and we're going to dissect these plays with Choose. And Choose, I'd like you to kind of work through them here as we go.
Oh, yeah. He needs to flash the Karma Q here. This is like one Chu.
This is one Chu. I love it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. That was the empowered one, too. That was a thick one.
He is... Breezy, come on.
If he flashes forward, I think they get both for none, honestly.
I mean, you would take the trade as well because, I mean, I'd give him 2 Chus because...
Okay. Moving up.
He's stepping up. He's getting the barrier bait. This is why we take barrier. Cubby doesn't like barrier, but like they fell for it.
Yeah.
If he plays this a bit better, like there's probably a potential bot dive. Is that... Yeah,
quite, potentially.
They've got him in a good spot, but I would give him 2 Chus.
Okay, 2 Chus.
All right,
so
Choo up next.
All right, so we're going to have another play here, Choose. You can go ahead and break this one down as well.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah, no, this was copy. Do you have the start of the play or just from this point?
We will see here, as I was gifted clips from our wonderful producer, Emery. Very helpful. But
shout out to Emily.
I will say, Copy holding the second R on Robbie Bob and committing to the rest of the fight was pretty good.
Oh, no, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Okay, so yeah.
So the Sejuani ult misses. Bobby goes a little deep. Yeah, no, this is discipline. This is already 2 Chus at the minimum.
Oh, okay.
That was
and then
starting off on the 2.
Yeah, no, Copy. Yeah, no, he plays this near perfect, I would say. I'm on 2. Is the max 5 Chus?
Yeah, max is 5.
I would give him 4.
Oh, we got a 2.
Well done.
Let's go.
Nah, he played this really well. I would need to watch it a couple more times to see what else he could do, but that looked perfect.
That's awesome.
And then this one, this was the cross. Yeah, this was the arrow, wasn't it?
Yeah, from downtown. We will go back to the start for this one, but not too bad for Robbie Bob to connect.
Honestly, insane. Like that, the angle on this.
No, this is hard. And it went over a ward, so like he does react, but who am I ranking? Am I ranking the arrow or the?
Well, we'll rank the Robbie Bob arrow. That's
the overall play,
it'll be a 2 Chus part. 2-part Chus.
Okay. The arrow, I'll give it. Yeah, I mean 5. It hit.
Oh, let's go! Let's go!
It's hard to like say where else he could arrow on the map. I don't think you're wasting your time throwing arrow topside. So I'll give him 5 Chus for the arrow in itself. The actual mechanics of the play, I would need to see it again. But 2 for 1 when you're down gold, like it's not terrible. Especially getting the shuddy off Ezreal.
Yeah, I guess Meech could have spotted it right here. Or like earlier, it did go over a ward, but a little bit late to react.
Yeah, if we're ranking Meech, it's -3 Chus.
How do you do negative Chus?
He usually is the guy that like reacts to everything too. Like his reaction speed was pretty insane last year. So,
no, he did. But the fact it went over a ward, Cubby, like we're not that generous.
Nope, I agree. I'm with you. That's the news. All right, last play.
All right, we got one more.
Actually, we're gonna start this back from. Yeah, there. Okay, here we go. Beginning.
Oh yeah.
Thick dive, very clean.
Oh, this was the Cassante buffer. No, I liked how Jenkins played this.
Yeah, the triple
and the
knockup
double
is
and the
pretty
double.
nice.
Yeah, no, that's a juicer. I mean, that's probably 3.5.
Hey, let's
Because it was
go.
like it was kind of gift wrapped for him, but like he did what he had to do to get the job done. So a solid 3.
I'd say yeah, solid like choo. It's
the half
give it
two at the
3.5,
end.
I was a nice buffer though on the ult. Wow, actually, I didn't catch that on the cast. Wow, that was really well played by Jenkins. Wow.
Yeah, no, I mean he had 0 impact, because the game was all bot side, but
That game was won.
when it came to him, he delivered. So, no respect.
Not bad.
Respect.
Love to see it. Well, I appreciate your buying into the choose meter. We'll have to get graphics and stuff next time if you come on again. We'll find a way to make it.
God, yeah.
It'll get better. But it really, looking at this, right? It's going to be a hard conversation, maybe even a long conversation, but we got to talk about how EG wrestle up some of the maybe learnings from game number 1 and come into game 2 with a more stability, at least, choose. And I would love for you to try and figure out maybe a way, at least in mid lane, how can they kind of approach this match?
I think that second play you showed me, where the copy one, where we gave him like 4 choose, I think that was really where the game got out of handle for EG. It's where like it was like a classic 3v3 in bot river. The initial Sejuani ult missed, and in those moments you really need someone to realize and just call off the play. Like this isn't, you shouldn't keep going forward. So with a sub in, and like you're probably it's still early days. Like it's hard to have those like elements of trust on the team, but yeah, when the first thing initially misses, like you need that like big shot caller to call it off. Bobby, I thought he did fine. I thought he the lane is actually quite hard for Silas, and he was landing some really good ease in lane. I think Sheedon hovered him really well. They put on a good amount of pressure. Like 2v2 was relatively close, but those bot river fights really tilted this game for sure.
Yeah. The Silas, like he was down. He was like on pace with the Silas matchup until like it got broken open in the river fight. So I am respectable as a sub. Really tough situation for Robbie Bob. Copy's a great player and definitely proved that in the later stages of this game.
Well, if you want to spam in chat who you think's going to win, CLGC or EGC, as we're going to be getting into our second
before the
game.
draft this time.
But yeah, it's before the draft. You got, hey, big brain coming off of game number 1. Don't be biased. Don't be biased. The game was one-sided. So I guess maybe towards more the coach kind of situation. Personally, how would you approach this as a coach coming off of a game like that for these players for EG? Like, do you just say, forget that one, let's move away? Like,
yeah. No, it's hard. From a coaching perspective, your best bet is just trying to like highlight what we did well. Like 1 or 2 key things that you would want to change differently. For me, the draft was like a big problem that I wasn't really. I would think, I don't know how side select works heading into the next game, who chooses, but for sure switch up the draft. I don't think they should be comfortable with what they had in the end. But yeah, just focus on like what you did well in that game. There's some good 2v2s, and just try and mentally reset.
Okay. And last little bit here, what do you say for CLGC? Ride it, like keep charging on ahead, go save comps. Do you see anything different?
I mean, I know Juves pretty well, and he's probably just like, he's doing one of 2 things. He's either over the moon that like they're just pummeling these guys into like they just dominated them, so he's like hyping them up, or like Kobe mindset 0-0, like job not finished, like let's stay tunneled in.
Okay.
Knowing Juves, he's probably number 1. He's probably over the moon, trying to hype him up heading into the next game, but. Yeah, we'll see.
Hey, we will find out. Thank you so much for your inside choose. We'll see you on the other side of this game as we're going to get ready for Champ Select. EG are on the blue side this time around. CLG Challengers on the red. And I do wonder if we see Caitlyn for CLG banned on red side. I don't know, man. There's something going on. We got to talk to these players and figure out what Caitlyn did to all of them because there's some problems. It is going to be the Jen holdover from last game, the Maokai holdover from last game. So a lot of the tried and true that we've already seen in this series cup.
Well, we at least have a swap up in the bans in terms of Malachi is now off the table. I was with Choose. I think if Malachi gets past like R1, R2, then you're making a mistake.
Yeah, it shouldn't have made it through the first game in the
he's
first
so
place.
impressive. It's but with that said, 3 marksmen actually being taken.
There it is. Let's go.
Okay, we have the Caitlyn.
So Ash was too strong. Got to take that away. Yumi obviously needed to be banned. Caitlyn makes it through. So we'll see what this ends up being. We'll talk about it a little bit later on. A lot of oppression in the bot lane, which needs to be gained from EG after that first game of the series. But now it's the question of the return picks for CLG.
Lucian Nami. Here it comes. Yeah, they're going to hold on to the...
Nami at least.
Yeah, the rest in Kevy. I mean, so Kevy was known for the magic damage champions, especially his Evelynn. It was so feared over in the LCO. And so to see him on Elise, really excited to see if Kevy can bring some of that early power and aggression into the fold here as EG will be forced to respond. Really expecting to see a Viego here maybe for Shaden. I mean, that is a pick that he is very, very, very good on.
Yeah, I mean, Comfort here, I guess, is the name of the game coming through. So at least they'll get that for Shaden. The Lux comes through for the Caitlyn Lux bot lane. And I am just imagining a lot of fireworks on this bottom side of the map early on. I mean, both sides really want to gain control, right? And I think the early aggression from the Lucian Nami will be important to track, but then how afterwards EG deal with it.
All right, I don't want to see a Cassante now for...
You don't
okay,
want to see
I'm done, man. I'm done.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Don't want to see it. I think it's too good. But I will say that CLG, again, really big emphasis on winning that bot lane 3v3. Want to see if Shaden can potentially outplay that. You can see CLG taking away the Jax. They're trying to get by a Cassante ban. And I'm curious to see if that means that Copy will be blinding something. I think that Caitlyn Lux, it's pretty tough to play against if you get behind. But it does open up a lot of assassins that you can play. And curiously enough, actually, a Lee Sin ban. Okay.
Where does that come from? Is that mid lane? Gonna be a mid lane pick here?
Might be an unknown
Robbie
counter when it comes to like what we have with maybe Cassante. I'm still expecting Cassante to be set up, but
yeah,
maybe it's a counter we don't know about yet or haven't seen. As Renekton taken away, and
Renekton's
why
been heavy
not
priority in the
Cassante?
bans. Yeah, I mean, hey, maybe they're willing to let it go through. I feel like we have been seeing a lot of willingness to let the Cassante through, and CLG say we'll take easy peasy.
I don't really get that willingness. This champion seems so strong.
It is pretty strong.
Everyone can blind it too. Like usually you want to save counter pick for top side. It really changed. Oh, hold on. Maybe that's
they feel like they've got a response.
Ooh, maybe that's why they took away the Lee Sin. Is this a Viego top for Soul?
That would be interesting. Or I felt like more the Sejuani when I first saw it, but you're never wrong. Like you could go the Viego top. I feel like the Sejuani kind of is interesting into Cassante itself, though. We're gonna get more Pharrell Jordangens here for EG as they do lock in Lissandra for Robbie Bob and trying to pull out a little bit of comfort there.
It's an Ignite, so okay. Well, that's a Cassidy. Well,
oh, God.
Copy scaling. This is a free lane. I mean, when you do play this mid, it is pretty much a free lane, as it will be that Sejuani top. So it is Shaden most likely trying to path into the Cassante, see if they can punish that very early on in this game. Given the fact that we see Kassadin, this makes the game pretty straightforward to us. There's a lot of early game on the bot side for CLG, but that Kassadin is going to be able to take over in the side lane later, and there's nothing they can really do to deal with him. But EG, Kassadin's a tad risky, because if you get behind against Caitlyn Lux, they specialize in taking turrets. And the way to beat Kassadin for me, take away the space that he has to farm. If you're knocking down turrets very quickly and Kassadin can't farm, that's the 1-4 where the Sandra can continuously make plays. So there is a winning formula here for EG. It's just they really have to hit it hard early and make sure that that bot lane survives and tries to get ahead.
So in that laning specifically, you were saying maybe Shaden goes towards Soul and see a little bit of pressure towards Jenkins. Does Kevy just go all into this bottom side and try to get that working?
No, Kevy's all in bot and all in for attacking Viego. Now the big thing for Elise, she's decent in the Viego because if you land, like, obviously, if you open with Cocoon on Elise, you're pretty much always going to win those early trades with Electrocute. But also, you do have a way to deal with Viego's stun with Repel. So we'll see if Kevy has the reaction time, and you'll make sure you're going up in the air, jumping over that W, and then you're able to connect on Viego again if you have vision. Going to be something to look out for, and we'll see if Kevy can get things started for CLG. As if they go late, they're going to cruise.
Here we go. The final game of our second series. Does CLG Challengers go 6-0 to start the season? Or does EG come back from a devastating game, number one, and find revenge here as they've drafted some interesting pieces? A Caitlyn that has been banned away all day long by all the teams finally makes it through. We get the change up with Soul willing to take the Sejuani into the Cassante. It's going to be all fun. As if you do want to get in, as we have seen a very one-sided affair in the betting on who's going to win. CLG Challengers at 82% over EGC.
You can spam in chat to bet?
If you do, it's CLGC and EGC. I don't know if we do have Gamba. We have chat Gamba, I guess. But I'll try to get some EG Challengers faith out there. Come on. Well, I guess it doesn't work for safe. Man, I'm just all over the place with
nothing
this,
gets
the
the juices flowing like a little bit of chat Gamba, Throw some channel points on the line.
But you do love to see kind of, I would love to see at least a very good response from that first game from EG. I think it would show a lot of heart, a lot of give, right? And we've talked a lot about EG as a whole. Shaden being a primary piece to build around for the squad when they were trying to come up with the piece to the puzzle coming into this one. And Smoothie, we talked earlier on in the series, needs to be that bridge of communication for pretty much the whole team. And finding a way to have Shaden and Soul be that wombo combo for them will be important. But all eyes on bot lane here early on, Cubby.
Decent trading here from Smoothie. At least Breezy steps up to make sure that Smoothie can't get that passive proc. They will be able to sustain a little bit, but Breezy didn't step up to go for the double tidal wave. So early brought prio here for EG, and Shaden, of course, working his way towards the bot side along with Kevy. So it is a matched clear so far instead of a mirrored clear, as both junglers working their way towards the bot side, and Shaden much faster.
Hey, definitely is. A lot of priority gained in mid lane from Robbie Bob, though, in this early pushing, as we were talking about a little bit as the end of draft went. And I think, I was wondering if maybe Kevy decides to stop on by, but I think it is just going to be make it to bot lane, see how this 3v3 kind of pans out, and how much damage can be done before then is an important factor to factor in, as actually perfect timing. They're both going to connect at the same time. Word comes out from Kevy there, as Shaden will move forward with Robbie Bob having gotten that priority. They're going in with a flash from Shaden, wanting to get the kill. The blast cone activate, Robbie. And they're still going in. Kevy doesn't have anything but the flash. Now Copy is the backup here. A little bit sub 200 health for Shaden. It was very close. Flashes everywhere, but no blood.
Robbie actually took away that blast cone to make sure that they could get more on the Elise. Is now Robbie Bob. Okay, able to get the flash out of Copy. That's big. So well done for Robbie Bob. He's going to have to reset here as he is Copy will be able to catch the wave A-okay, but still taking away flash from Cassidy this early. There are a couple of levels where you can make plays as the Lissandra with Viego. It's a bread and butter setup to get Viego ahead.
We'll see. Still, early aggression gained from bot lane. It will be met by CLG, and it's just turning into a very Akko Taco 3v3.
Yes.
But hey, Scuttle Crab is the dominant force here, and we all know where the fight was going. EG come away with the early dub.
Shaden with that red buff, able to still threaten, pick it up for himself, as he will be the carry on Viego. And if bot prio returns here, might be able to get frisky with Elise on her bot side, but not going to be the case. It's going to be full clears for Shaden. I'm expecting the reset towards the top side, and that is a win for EG, surviving the first clear of Elise. I really think the big part for EG, what they have to hit, it's all about the first Rift Herald fight and this level 6. Because if Viego can get going from there and get cooking, maybe they can take the map away from CLG. But if things go too long, again, this Cassidy and Cassante will get out of control in the side lane. So really important that EG are getting the first few objectives of this game.
Shaden has gotten into the lane all sneaky like, and Meech dashing forward. They know he's here, flashing from Smoothie. They get Breezy locked down, and first blood goes over to Evil Geniuses Challengers. Robbie stopping the, at least, exit from Meech, and then Mobility comes in with the alley-oop over the top rope. That's huge. And 2-0 for Evil Geniuses Challengers.
Yo, Shaden's just showing off some of the skills there on Viego, showing that maybe he played a little bit of support secondary. It was a nice bubble there onto Meech, and an important double kill. Again, if Kate Lux get ahead, they can take the map away from Cassidy and take away his space to farm, so he can't scale. Really important that the early game goes EG's way. 1k gold lead early, and we will see what they can do from here. You got to expect that bot lane now might have priority for Herald. Really good. This was a great setup from Smoothie and Shaden. You see them killing off the wave. Shaden's able to sneak on in. Smoothie was stepping up to make sure that they couldn't see Shaden sneak into that brush. And from there, Smoothie, he's the one that's proactive. Once Niche dashes, he knows they have it. He's going to start the flash, make sure they land the root, make sure they land the trap. It's really well done from EG.
That's great execution.
This is just cherry on top, baby.
Yeah, this really is. I love the cutoff there. And then Meech is like, all right, well, then I just have to flash. But Shaden, so clutch.
I like giving it over to the Caitlyn, too. Just making sure that you have push. As we actually see a plate not go to Jenkins. I didn't see the gold actually funnel over to him. So not all bad there for Soul, who has been on his lonesome in its top side. And we will see if Shaden continues to work his way bot. It sure seems to be the case. As right now, Kevy is stuck on the top side. So if Shaden's able to get in here with Robbie, who has 6, again, there are no sums missing here on the bot side of CLG. Could be another winning play.
And I was actually, before all that happened, I was going to start asking you, like, after this early part, right, and the aggression hadn't gone really either way, how do you play out this bot lane? But now, really, the question is, how does CLG kind of respond to a little bit of an advantage here for EG and making sure that Shaden can't keep coming and reaping the rewards of a very strong bot lane?
Now, he was spotted by that control ward that was placed by the bot lane of CLG, so at least CLG has a bit of tracking right now onto Shaden. Will enable Jenkins to play very up front here on the top side if he so chooses. But it's still, we are 1 minute away from that Herald, and I really want to put a big emphasis on it, because when you have the Sandra Sejuani, these Freljord champs, as you pointed out, it's all about that early knockdown, CC, and snowballing this early game. If EG goes late, this game's doomed. You're going up against Cassidy and Cassante in the side lane. CLG has proven they can 1-3-1 early in the split. If that's not the case, or if you don't get ahead early enough, that will win out over time. So I want to see EG continue to keep that the pressure onto CLG and see how much they can get in this early game.
Yeah, that is the key, right? There is literally a giant clock ticking down to doom in the mid lane, and it's CLG favored. And I think if you can continue to pick apart these early games and press the advantage you've gotten for EG, that's where you have to look to. And that's where, you know, now that we've gotten level 6s across the board, I'm looking for that proactivity. They're already getting the dragon. That's huge. And objective control can go a long way at combating some of that scaling efficiency for CLG.
That's step 1 for EG. We will see Shaden likely pick up his own red buff and then go from there. But you can see that Copy, now that he has a few more levels under him, so confident in his ability to step up as this Cassidy. Again, going up against Lissandra, you get free lanes. Giving Cassidy the free lane, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I just going back to talk, the ace in the hole just early. Oh my god, he takes so much damage there. It is just the impression we would expect from the bot lane. But going back to that Copy point, right? Like, he's been so integral in this one. Can't talk about it though. Kevy has found Shaden. Got to be really careful as the aggression. Nice flash. Shaden gets out. Kevy with the pathing is huge. We'll see also Robbie Bob maybe caught out a little bit trying to help out his jungle. And time's a ticking here, Cubby.
Good catch, though, from Kevy, as it does slow down what will be the Rift Herald. Is now Shaden forced to burn flash, forced to base. And this Rift Herald taken for CLG, really good on their part. Again, they know that they are in the position where they are scaling. Their one strong point on the map is behind, but when you are scaling, you can still find windows of aggression, windows to set the other team behind. Kevy finding that chunk, it takes away the Rift Herald setup that EG wants to have with the Sejuani, with the Viego. And now...
Oh my god, it's come all the way back around again. He's trying to dodge out the eye, but he's focused too much on the Rift Herald, and Kevy goes down. Rift Herald goes to EG. No! Is it enough, though? Can they actually get Jenkins out of here? They all out there, but then on the other side of the fight, Robbie Bob has caught Copy. Flash from Copy as well. It is chaos here. But the Rift Herald claimed by EG does. Is he going to be able to chase them down? Oh, Copy gets out with the Rift Walk.
All right, we'll just be farming for Shaden. He does have all of his camps to clear, so it's not all bad. As, that... Mobility wasn't expecting that trap to connect.
Oh my goodness, that's all. Oh, Mobility goes forward, dodges out of the bubble there. Can't out of the tidal wave. Too big of a wave. And that was a bit aggressive, but I like it. I like where the head's at, EG.
Maybe some nerves. It looks like the net didn't come out right when the flash was happening. A little bit delayed. So a little bit not fully decisive on the play there for EG, but still, Summoner spells out. of each side, keeping things volatile. That does benefit EG. And that Herald take was honestly critical. I mean, that gives EG a lot at this point of the game. Very important they were able to snag that.
Breezy taking the brunt of the aggression there from EG, but now Mobility has stepped up, has the 90 caliber net, uses it immediately. Headshot right back in. Robbie Bob has now reassumed mid lane position. And with nothing on the map, I think you're just going to utilize these very pushing heavy lanes early on for EG. Now we get to look at that steal.
Yeah, wards are overrated, man. Just walk over them. As this is all spotted, Kevy couldn't get around. Really nice Glacial Prison from Soul, as Shaden was able to chain that perfectly. Able to snag the Rift Herald, the Soul, and Jenkins. I mean, he burned Ghost, had the ult out, and got nothing for it. So again, EG, they're hitting their win cons early. Maybe not the cleanest, but hey, win's a win, right?
Shout out to Robbie Bob there, too. Like, Copy had it dead to rights, but good timing on the Zanyas, or I guess the stopwatch at that point. And so I just really appreciate these little monumental moments, I guess, in Robbie Bob's early game here, but needs to be very careful because I still feel like hasn't gotten the advantage that EG might want in this very scaling heavy Kassadin matchup. Again,
in the side lane, you are fodder for Kassadin. Kassadin literally does not believe that you exist at this point of the game.
Like magic.
Sandra will just be, getting her health taken away, which is really nice for CLG because, of course, if Wiss is missing health, can't go affect the rest of the map. Exactly what this wants to do. And you can see Robbie Bob already forced to really play far back. So wherever this Kassadin is, again, going to be a problem. The side lane is very powerful here for CLG.
I like this, though. They're moving in. Tidal Wave, the speed not enough. Final Spark comes out as well. Shaden can't chase down Kevy. Mobility gets out again. Bubble does connect, but nothing going to follow it up. Dragon coming up in about 40 seconds, Cubby, and it's looking like control from EG is going to make that possible for them.
Actually, something small from Mobility, but I really like using the heal to sidestep that cocoon. Flash was down, 90 caliber net was down, using the heal to just get some move speed to be able to get around that. Really small, but a nice moment here from Mobility.
Love to see it. Little things for Mobility.
Oh.
Newer addition.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Do they? Do they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, nicely done. CC stays. Meech stayed, but it's a kill over to Shaden. The Soul is his, and now Dragon is his as well.
Well played by EG. Smoothie, that is a timer where Mobility reset, but Smoothie stays out on the map and catches CLG off guard. It was likely going to be a sack of Dragon anyway, given the time the bot lane was looking to reset. But this just guarantees that there is absolutely no contest. This will be EG and Shaden's, and EG continued to hit the early game marks they need to.
It's exactly what they needed to be checking off the list here. But it is only 13 minutes in. They have a lead. They have a decent advantage, about 3,000 gold in the advantage here, but it's still continuing to press that. Ocean Soul on the Rift as well, so nicely.
Honestly, what I want to see from EG right now is I want to see, like, Shaden be with the Kate Lux mid, try and fight for any sort of prio, and then drop the wave mid and just go attack bot as 4. Go attack the Kassadin. He does not have wave clear. He needs to step up to commit. He cannot do anything if you overload his lane. And I think EG is trying that now with Smoothie and Shaden. I just wish Kate was here as, here we go.
You got TP coming in to save the day, but it's not in time. Copy goes down. Killing spree for Shaden, and Jenkins is here to respond. But it's still racking up those kills, and now the plate gold going over as well. Robbie Bob should get out of this one. Flashes just in case. We'll have the tidal wave on the speed up. He does need that cooldown back. Here it comes. CC's enough. All out. And Jenkins gets the kill. They are on the board. The faithful might be rewarded.
Not the cleanest here from EG, but still it is the right idea. Attack the Kassadin. You can take away his turrets, take away his ability to farm. And EG, that is the right idea. Again, I feel like if you send Kate, there is no counterplay then for CLG if you drop a mid wave. So that's why I was kind of asking for 4 to play through mid and then go take away terrain from the Kassadin. But still, EG, showing that they are on the right track, which is good. It's a young team with subs into. That was a sound play and what I want to see when you're going up against the Kassadin. I think that's how you beat a champion that is very strong and very oppressive in the current meta, especially when he gets going later.
And again, this early advantage to the T of what they drafted for is the kind of bounce back that I'm happy to see for Evil Geniuses, right? Like we had already talked about, the early trekking in this year has not been going their way, right? But to have a game like Game 1 go that way, and now come into Game 2 with very clear game plan and executing that, having gotten some comfort for Robbie Bob, getting this very strong possible bot lane for Smoothie as well. I think it just enables the team. We're seeing that unfold here a little bit. We do have the side lane going with Jenkins. A little bit positive with his Jack show. But more so, it is about how this bot lane now integrates into the rest of the team as we go into mid lane. Mid-game, sorry.
Oh, at the moment, we have TP advantage for EG between the top laners. So this is going to enable Shaden to pretty confidently take the second Rift Herald. And I want to see him actually drop this when Dragon spawns. I think it's really important that EG just gets Soul. Ocean Soul is honestly a terrible role for him. Any and every other Soul would have been more oppressive this game than Ocean. But Soul's a Soul, right? So you take that as EG, as Smoothie. Going to take Coleman to the back here.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage. Copy, feeling himself. Has hit that level 11 mark. So has the second ranking of the ultimate there. But mobility and Smoothie has decent wave clear. So be able to handle mid lane a little bit more. And I guess I'm interested the duality of the CLG roster because they do have some pretty poignant responses if they get the right catch out in the right time, especially with Meech and Breezy.
So Robbie Bob is able to crash a wave top, and now you can see he's walking in. They're going to look for a play. It's really good from Robbie Bob and EG. Flash.
Tidal wave out, though. Frozen Tomb.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of ace in the whole action in there as well. Soul coming over the wall with the Glacial Prison. They have all the prisons, all the tombs, and they're putting Breezy right into it.
This is really textbook play from EG again. You have Alessandro trying to group up and make plays. Robbie Bob gets a shove in. They're able to commit, and now let's see if they can get out.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, should be fine.
Won't get the trap under him. That might have spelled Copy's death there. It will be CLG defending the mid lane tower, though. Will not fall just yet, and the back's coming through for EG.
I think EG's playing out their comp correctly, especially, I mean, not only is it Robbie Bob making the roam after shove, but also Soul dropped a wave bot to make sure that he was there to back up the play, and they had 5 as a team. Overloading is how you beat the 1-3-1 and beat a Kassadin. I want to see them try and overload into the side onto the Kassadin. Again, because he doesn't have wave clear, and with Kate, you can take towers very quickly. But still, EG is playing out their composition very, very well. I don't know if it's enough. We're going to have to find out. We're going to have to see, too, because we have Dragon spawning in 45 seconds. Second Rift should be dropped to try and help create some pressure around that Dragon Mazel. We'll see if EG can continue to execute and cash in. Important for them, as long as they keep on fighting, Summoners will be down. So no flashes on the bot lane of CLG. That is something that EG can now target.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to be able to get this tower down with that wave crashing, but unable to. You see Shaden moving over and potentially going to drop this Rift Herald mid lane at that perfect timing here. It will be a little bit finicky. I think they want to try to push this tower down before they have to utilize that. Soul's going in. Now Shaden's following up, but Jenkins pretty tanky there. He is unstoppable moving forward. TP from Copy will deny it.
That's a nice chunk. That Herald is still sitting in Shaden's inventory. Maybe he's waiting to see if he can throw it bot. Maybe get double charge after this Dragon. But either way, it's a good chunk before the Dragon. And I don't know if CLG can fight this. It's still really risky for them to 5v5.
They're about to dogpile in. Gonna be a little bit scary. 2,000 health. They decide back on it at the last second. Robbie Bob goes for it, almost gets obliterated. Goes into his Frozen Tomb. Tidal Wave will ensure he dies, but the engage comes right through. Mobility's gale forcing forward, and Shaden has gotten the soul of Meech. Jenkins on the side might go down as well. Smoothie flashing forward. Ace in the hole secures the kill. And EG just continued to stream forth in the face of aggression for CLG.
Honestly, you know what this reminds me of? Last year, when Shaden debuted, C9 had to play with 3 subs. It was Shaden Copy, and then Alorum, Wixie, and Trevor. The one game that EG won during that time was when they just played a Viego comp for Shaden. This guy was ranked 1 and 2 simultaneously on the ladder, and he is carrying this game, just building a comp around the Viego. Like, the last game was terrible for EG, but this time around, Shaden's empowered. He's the one making things happen, and he's the reason that EG are now 1 Dragon away from Soul and are up in this game.
So many highlight reels and plays from Cloud9 Academy last year was Shaden popping off from the jungle, right? This man is a carry, and he'll do so again and again if you give him the resources. 5-0 now on the Viego. Second item completed. He's a tanky son of a gun, and he'll use that Rift Herald in top lane to try to put down Jenkins.
Inappropriate, too. I mean, coming into this match, we talked about how both Copy and Shaden were teammates on C9 last summer, but have new homes for this split. Copy hard carried game 1, and now this is a Shaden game in game 2. As that second Rift, it's going to be used after the Dragon to help pressure another outer. EG continue to try and take towers away from this Kassadin, and you can see Copy, like, he's level 12. He's fine. He's going to have a completed Seraphs here, and you're pretty strong as Kassadin with 2 items, but if you get a Soul or open up Elder before, you're able to get to that 3-item mark with the Zanyas and level 16, that's tough as casted into function. So we'll see if EG can continue to check the right boxes and keep the pressure up. That's the key.
That is the key. And I think another key also for EG's, honestly, kind of come up in this series so far is the fact that, we have Soul playing on the Sejuani, very much enabling Shaden in a lot of these fights and enabling another source of setup and potential direction for EG. And I know, we've already kind of realized that for EG, a huge piece to the growing pains and what's going to be a successful growth for both players will be how Soul and Shaden connect.
These are the two young prospects. We'll see if they can connect here. Is this a nice cancel on the Meech?
Yeah, Soul will follow through with the Glacial. I don't know if Shaden can get Kevy on the other side. They'll go with the Heartbreaker. Final Spark. Mobility is on a killing spree now. Robbie Bob comes in with the TP to back the team up. Copy starting to scale, but he's not scaled enough. He's not big enough. The timer is not down. And now Baron on the table for EG.
Love the find from Soul, too. Just trading his ult for a cleanse. That is now something that can be punished moving forward. Cleanse very important for him each against this comp. But EG,
Trap line.
I think they're going to start this up to turn. They want to turn. I don't think you commit to this Baron. I know Smite's down, but that's scary against CLG as they take a lot of
stacking it up. Soul's getting a little bit lower.
No.
Copy's over the wall. They've got the backline. Mobility. Gale Force is out. All out used. And he gets the kill. Jenkins shuts down Smoothie. He's on to Mobility now. And another one bites the dust. Kazante gets the shutdown.
EG split there. Robbie needs to play with the rest of the team. If it's the backline jumping in onto the Kate Lux, Meech doesn't have his ult available. You have to try and peel for your backline and keep them alive. Those are two big shutdowns that are now going over to Jenkins. He has a stone plate in his inventory. And taking a look, like Breezy, Meech, yeah, they're a threat on the Nami Lucian, but there's no culling. Just peel with your team. You have a 2v5 if you peel backwards here. Instead, Robbie Bob goes forward and tries to get on the Meech and Breezy, and yeah, he's distracting them, gets damage down, but he's never going to kill them alone, and his backline's just getting ran while this is going on.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I feel your pain, Mobility. I feel your pain. I'm nowhere near your skill level, but I know how it feels when you're face-to-face with a K'Sante as an ADC. Feels really good. But big thing is now transitioning that strength from that last fight into this Dragon fight.
And the big thing is, because CLG won out on the skirmish, they got out on the map first and actually have control over this bot side river. So again, this is the most important fight of the game. EG needs to continue to win fights early. Things do not get better for them as time goes on. As Copy.
Soul's here. We said how crucial the connection of an engage between Soul and Shaden is, but Copy is getting there. You're starting to tick down the seconds, the minutes, until he is online.
This is just the Viego comp. Wherever the Sandra R goes, wherever Glacial Prison goes, that's what we're looking out for. The Glacial Prison and Frozen Tomb.
All right, there you go.
The
Frozen Tomb still available for the catch out. The Glacial Prison as well. They try to go into Jenkins.
Nice.
He's tanking up a lot of the damage. That tidal wave was big.
No, getting that out, that's a huge cooldown that CLG can use to peel. Now, Ocean Dragon's up, and they have to recheck the Fog of War. You can see how EG is trying to hold it, trying to distract, as they're kind of on the Dragon right now.
Soul's caught out here, though. Soul has to get back to his team. There's the final spark back. Almost taken out single-handedly. Meets and Shaden does. They've got the resets now. Copy's on the back. Can Copy be the difference maker here? Kevy goes in. Kevy's down. A double kill for the jungler of EG, and he's making him hurt. A triple kill for Shaden, and he's taking all the souls. That's EG, 12-4, and a Dragon Soul in their eyes.
When just a Sivir comp doesn't work, sometimes you just got to go to just a Viego comp. That's what it's been for Shaden, as he gets a fourth on the back half. He's legendary against his old teammate Copy, who was legendary last game against him. As both of these players, some of the most hyped prospects that we have in Challengers League, they've each had a game that they're carrying an EG, man. Props to them. This is tough as a sub-squad. To play against a team the likes of CLG, with their experience and caliber of play they've been bringing so far in Challengers League, they went all out for a non-meta early game composition. And yes, Shaden's a great player, but because of the pieces around him, they've been able to make this work.
Yeah, we're looking at this replay here. It's literally the Shaden force to start it off, and it's a little bit dicey, but I think the target selection for EG was so crucial here.
I think at the back half, like, after this, right? So they get the tidal wave out. Look at Smoothie. I want to give Smoothie a lot of props here. He finds a two-man route into a final spark, And that's what enabled the turn.
Meech almost dies outright.
Yeah. I mean, if you take Meech out of the fight first, that's huge for the side of EG. That's exactly what happened.
And I love it because Soul buys so much time for it. But yeah, right there. And Shaden's like, that's my go button.
Oh, great play coming out of Shaden and Smoothie. The two of the members we will be seeing all split here. Smoothie stepped up big. Shaden's able to knock it all down, and he walks out with the unofficial quadra.
Actually insane. Chasing down Breezy in the end.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Feels bad, man. He tried to get the fun little flash, but Shane's like, nah, I'm not letting that one go. That's my quadra. We are right back to it, though. EG and started up the Baron. A little bit tricky here as Robbie's on the back end. Meech gets the target of the ace in the hole, but they've already focused Breezy down. As now the reset, the all out. No, it's not enough. Robbie doesn't go down. One more auto attack, the knockback. It's not enough. They don't get him. Oh, it's catastrophe. But a beautiful come up for Evil Geniuses.
Oh man, the Ocean Soul heard me talking crap.
Yeah, it did.
There for Robbie as he stays alive, and I do like how EG are playing this. They just continuously pull objectives. Stack is 5. Cassidy can't farm, and now Copy, he's forced to go for a Hail Mary here with Kevy.
It's going to be a little bit tricky. He just go over the wall. It's nicely done. It actually gets stopped going over the wall, at least. Robbie Bob's now on the hunt.
Soul regrets that one. Yeah.
Oh, gets over the wall there himself. Copy's trying to bait them out over here. Meech is now here. Oh, no, Copy. He tries to get over the wall now with his Rift Walk. As he also had to flash in, and he's right back in. The Baron goes over to Shaden. And Copy, yes, he got one back on the Smoothie, but that's just a quick back for EGC.
And EGC, again, a tough start to the split for him.
There's nothing Kevin can do here. Nicely done. Praise where praise is due. I know you were talking about it earlier. My man, Robbie Roberts. Love to see him coming in here and actually having, you know, a stabilization performance from last time around and be able to pull out the Lissandra and against Copy, who we lauded so heavily.
It's, you know, it's just a Viego comp, you know? Robbie played it right.
I'm trying to throw hype on our Robbie Bob boy.
No, he's supporting cast, you know? He might get a Golden Globe for best supporting mid laner. That's where we're at right now.
I would nominate him. All right. That's what the Lissandra brings to the table, right?
I would nominate him.
All right. I can appreciate that. But, you know, again, it is Shaden finding a lot of that comfort here on the Viego. And we said it when the draft came out. I was like, all right, well, this is definitely going to be like Shaden-centered to the most extent, right? And I think it's coming to life. And seeing that separation from Cloud9 for both these players, I love it that we're getting this kind of representation.
This is really the exciting thing for EG. Again, Shaden, someone that, you know, EG, they feel like they have the best prospect in Challengers in Shaden. Yeah. And, you know, with Soul around that, another great prospect that was able to show up in LCS and performed admirably, even though he was in there too early. EG's got potential to grow, and it'd be exciting once they get their full team in now, or hopefully sooner than later. But for now, with the subs, performing admirably. Again, I think Mobility had a very serviceable game. Robbie Bob did his job this game, and as sure as hell, it's looking like an EG win.
It is indeed. They're kind of closing it out here. Last inhib, at least mid inhib will go down. They'll just need 2 of them here. Ace in the hole comes through onto Jenkins. We'll see the tower starting to take some wear here. There's a lot of cannon minions doing some work out of these things. It should be the closing thoughts here for EG as they go in one last time. Final Spark comes away. They get Jenkins first. The souls are now Shaden's to reap as he goes for Copy on the side. He wants that revenge against his teammate, but they actually turn back onto Meech and Kevy and the rest of CLG. As all that's left is the Nexus, and EG want to put the final mark on these coffins. They try to get Copy. Is he going to go for it? Is he going to do it? Copy goes golden. Shaden, I know you want it, and he gets some. He goes legendary, and it's EG Challengers rising to the occasion and taking a dub.
11-0-7 on the Viego. Copy carried game 1, and his old teammate Shaden carried game 2 as it's a 1-1 split. CLG has their first loss of the Challenger season. First loss between that level and LCS as well. I expect big things out of them, but we'll say that adds to a bit of the excitement that we have tomorrow, as CLG will be taking on Dignitas. A really tough test for them in a series that very much looking forward to.
Exactly that. We will be back shortly with an interview from one of the Evil Geniuses players, so we'll be back shortly.
Welcome back. I've got Smoothie here. You've just come back from a pretty rough game 1, but you guys managed to pull it back in game 2. How did you boys manage to do it? What did the coach say, or what did you have to say to pull the boys back into it?
I think for game 2, we just ended up picking champs that we were just comfortable with. And in doing so, we all just played really aggressively and, you know, but a lot better than game 1, that's for sure. And our comp was really good too, so that helps.
Yeah, definitely switching sides, getting the Maokai out. I was impressed that you guys left up Kassadin, but you still managed to I like the bot dive, where you guys all committed, kept it going. My second question is, how's it playing with Sheedan? How are you finding it?
So Shaden's always been a really good solo queue jungler. It was, in solo queue, there's 2 junglers that really stand out to me. Back then, it was Shaden and Tomio, and I played with both, so yeah, he's really good. Really good mechanics, really good instinct, and yeah, he's really passionate about the game, which I can see really clearly.
Sure. Cool. Something more personal to you, Andy, is what is your goal this year?
My goal this year, obviously, make it back to LCS. It's been a long time, but honestly, I think that my skill level right now is not where I want it to be. It'll get there eventually, I think. I went to Korea and got a lot better. Playing Korean solo queue is just a big difference. So hopefully that'll carry through, and especially when King and Ryoma come back, we can make a really deep run for playoffs and maybe even win it.
Yeah, no, for sure. On the the whole substitute situation, I wanted to ask how have the boys been handling that? Having to play with a substitute, I know it's always difficult, but is there anything particularly different, or how's it been working with Robbie?
Oh, I mean, Robbie and Mobility, they've been pretty great. They kind of came in last minute for the most part, and we really appreciate them helping us and playing for us. It's kind of hard to just place them in a very competitive setting and expect them to be really good, but right now I can tell that they're already learning a lot, and from the beginning of scrims till now, they both gone a lot better. So hopefully we can go forward with them and win some more games.
No, for sure. And final question to follow the theme of the broadcast: what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal? I guess panda. A very generic answer, but
good answer. Good answer. I haven't heard anyone say that. Okay, cool. We'll be back after this break. Thank you, Andy.